Chapter 1, Analysis of Simple Sentences. First, we have learned that a sentence is a set or group of words which makes complete sense. We have also learned that the first stage in the analysis of a sentence is to divide it into two main parts, the subject and the predicate as number, subject, predicate. Number 1, subject, dogs, predicate, bark. Number 2, subject, the sun, predicate, gives light. Number 3, subject, the child, predicate, is dead. Number 4, subject, the boys, predicate, made Rama captain. Number 5, subject, my father, predicate, gave me a watch. Number 6, subject, the flames, predicate, spread everywhere. Number 7, subject, the flames, predicate, spread in every direction. Number 8, subject, the hour to prepare lesson, predicate, has arrived. The subject denotes the person or thing about which something is said. The predicate is what is said about the person or thing denoted by the subject. We see that the subject may consist of one word or several words. Thus, in sentence 1, the subject consists of one word, which is the noun dogs. In sentence 8, the subject consists of 5 words, of which the most important word in the noun our. We also see that the predicate may consist of one word or several words. Thus, in sentence 1, the predicate consists of one word, which is the verb bark. In sentence 5, the predicate consists of 4 words, of which the essential word is the verb gave. Number 2. When the subject of a sentence consists of several words, there is always one word in it which is more important than the other words. This chief word in the complete subject is called the subject word or simple subject. Thus, in the sentence, the little child, tired of play, or is sleeping, the noun child is the subject word. The subject word is always a noun or a word or group of words that does the work of a noun, as he or tired, he is best. The rich, bar, are not always happy. Talking overmuch is a sign of vanity. To err, bar, is human. To find fault is easy. 3. In the complete subject, the subject word is qualified by an adjective or adjective equivalent called its enlargement or attribute as first one, new brooms, bar, sweep clean. Number 2, barking dogs, bar, seldom bite. Number 3, Harry's father, bar, is an engineer. Number 4, my views, bar, are quite different. Number 5, Firdausi, the poet, bar, wrote the Shah Namah. Number 6, a desire to excel, bar, is commendable. Number 7, a stitch in time, bar, saves 9. Number, subject, predicate. There are 2 columns. Predicate. Number 1, subject, word, attribute, new, predicate, sweep clean. Number 2, subject word, dogs, attribute, barking, predicate, seldom bite. Number 3, subject word, father, attribute, Harry, predicate, is an engineer. Number 4, subject word, views, attribute, my, predicate, are quite different. Noted that in 1, the attribute is an adjective, in 2, the attribute is an participle or participle adjective, in 3, the attribute is a noun in the possessive or genitive case, in 4, the attribute is a possessive adjective, in 5, the attribute is a noun in apposition, in 6, the attribute is a gerundial infinitive, in 7, the attribute is a group of words doing the word of an adjective. Note, A, R, and the are really attributes, but they are sometimes treated as part of the subject word. We have seen that the predicate may consist of one word or several words. When the predicate consists of one word, that word is always a verb, because we cannot say anything without using saying word. That is a verb. When the predicate consists of several words, the essential word in the predicate is always a verb. Just as the subject word may be qualified by an adjective or adjective equivalent, the verb in the predicate may be qualified by an adverb or adverb equivalent called in analysis its extension or adverbial qualification as the flames spread everywhere. He went home. He rose to go. The flames spread in every direction. Spring advancing, the swallows appear. Number, subject, predicate. Subject, there are two columns. Subject word, attribute. In predicate, there are two columns. Verb, adverbial qualification. Number 1. Subject word, flames. Attribute, the. Verb, spread. Adverbial qualification, everywhere. Number 2. Subject word, he. Attribute, the. Verb, went. Adverbial qualification, home. Number 3. Subject word, he. Attribute, the. Verb, rose. Adverbial qualification, to go. Number 4. Subject word, flames. Attribute, the. Verb, spread. Adverbial qualification, in every direction. Number 5. Subject word, swallows. Attribute, the. Verb, appear. Adverbial qualification, spring advance. It will be noted that in 1 the adverbial qualification is an adverb. In 2 the adverbial qualification is an adverbial accusative. In 3 the adverbial qualification is a gerundial infinitive. In 4 the adverbial qualification is a group of words doing the work of an adverb. In 5 the adverbial qualification is an absolute phrase. In 6, when the verb in the predicate is an intransitive verb, it alone can form the predicate as dogs bark, black clouds are gathering, the boys have been reading. Note: in sentence 1, the verb consists of only word. Often the verb itself consists of group of 2 or more words, as in 2 and 3. 7. Sometimes the verb in the predicate is an intransitive verb of incomplete predication, that is, an intransitive word which requires a noun or an adjective or a pronoun, etc. added to it make the predicate complete, as the baby seems happy. If I simply say the baby seems, I do not make complete sense. The intransitive verb seems requires some word or word to make the predicate complete. What is thus requires to complete the predicate is called a complement. The complement of an intransitive verb serves to describe the subject and is therefore called a subjective complement. Now examine the predicate in the following sentences. The sky grew dark. Venus is planet. It is me. The man seems worried. Your book is there. The house is too late. The building is in a dilapidated condition. Number, subject, predicate. In subject, there are two columns. In predicate, there are two columns. Number 1. Subject, word. Attribute, verb, complement. Number 1. Subject word, sky. Attribute, the. Verb, grew. Complement, dark. Number 2. Subject word, Venus. Attribute, verb, is. Complement, a planet. Number 3. Subject word, it. Attribute, the. Verb, is. Complement, me. A planet. Number 3. Subject word, it. Attribute, the. Verb, is. Complement, me. Number 4. Subject word, man. Attribute, your. Verb, seems. Complement, worried. 5. Subject word, book. Attribute, the. Verb, is. Complement, there. Number 6. Subject word, house. Attribute, the. Verb, is. Complement, too late. It will be noticed that in 1 the complement is an adjective. In 2 the complement is a noun. In 3 the complement is a pronoun. In 4 the complement is a participle. In 5 the complement is an adverb. In 6 the complement is an infinitive. In 7, the complement is a group of words doing the work of an adjective. Note: when the predicate is completed by an adjective, such an adjective is said to be used predicatively or to be a predicative adjective. When the predicate is completed by a noun, the noun is said to be a predicative noun. Sometimes the verb in the predicate is a transitive verb, that is, a verb which requires an object to complete its sense. For example, if I say cats catch, I do not make complete sense. You want to know what the cat catch. The verb catch requires an object, such as mice, to form a complete predicate. Now examine the predicate in the following sentences. Birds build nest. I know him. All good children pity the poor. The Gurukuhas love fighting. The foolish crow tried to sing. Our soldiers tried to scale the cliff. Number, subject, predicate. Number 1. Subject. There are two columns. Subject, word, attribute. In predicate, there are two columns. Verb, object. Subject, birds. Attribute, verb, build. Object, nest. Subject, I. Attribute, verb, know. Object, him. Subject, children. Attribute, all. Verb, pity. Object, the poor. Subject, word, Gurukahas. Attribute, the. Verb, love. Object, fighting. Subject, word, crow. Attribute, the. Foolish. Verb, tried. Object, to sing. Subject, word, soldiers. Attribute, our. Verb, tried. Object, to scale the cliff. It will be noticed that in 1 the object is noun, in 2 the object is pronoun, in 3 the object is an adjective used as a noun, in 4 the object is a gerund or verbal noun, in 5 the object is an infinitive, in 6 the object is a group of words doing the work of a noun and an indirect object. If I say Rama gave a penknife, the noun penknife is the object of the verb gave. I may, however, by way of further information, say to whom Rama gave a penknife. Rama gave penknife. The word me is called the indirect object of the verb. Gave to distinguish it from the object penknife, which is the direct object. Now examine the predicate in the following sentences. I promised him a present. He teaches us geometry. Father bought me a doll. Subject, predicate. In predicate, there are two columns. Indirect object, direct object. Subject, I. Verb, promised. Indirect object, him. Direct object, a present. Subject, he. Verb, teaches. Indirect object, us. Direct object, geometry. Subject, father. Verb, bought. Indirect object, meaning. Direct object, a doll. 11. Some transitive verbs requires complement in addition to the object, as the boys made Rama captain. Here the noun Rama is the object of the transitive verb made, which here requires a word. If I say the boys made a snowball, the sense is complete, but it would be a nonsense to say the boys made Rama. The boys did not make Rama. They made Rama captain. The verb made is here a transitive verb of incomplete predication, because in the sense in which the verb made is here used, it cannot form complete predicate unless it has the complement beside an object. The complement here refers to the object Rama. It is therefore called an objective complement. Now examine the predicates in the following sentences. The jury found him guilty. His parents named him Hari. He kept us waiting. Nothing will make him repent. His words filled them with terror. Number, subject, predicate. In subject, there are two columns, subject, word, and attribute. In predicate, there are three columns: verb, object, complement. Number 1, subject word, jury. Attribute, the. Verb, fond. Object, him. Complement, guilty. Number 2, subject word, parents. Attribute, his. Verb, named. Object, him. Complement, hurry. Number 3, nothing. Attribute, verb, will make. Object, him. Complement, repent. Number 4, subject word, words. Attribute, his. Verb, feed. Object, them. Complement, with terrors. 12. Let us now review the different form of the predicate. 1. When the verb is an intransitive, the predicate may consist of the verb alone. Number 2. When the verb is an intransitive verb of incomplete predication, the predicate may consist of the verb and its complement. Number 3. When the verb is a transitive verb, the predicate may consist of the verb and its object. Number 4. When the verb is a transitive verb having two objects, the predicate may consist of the verb and its two objects, indirect and direct. Number 5. When the verb is a transitive verb of incomplete predication, the predicate may consist of the verb, its object and complement. 13. Carefully study the analysis of the following sentences. The table is printed on the page 146. Abdul, quite pale with fright, rushed into the room. Determination to do one's duty is laudable. Around the fire, one wintry night, the farmer's rosy children sat. Home they brought the warrior dead. His friends elected him secretary of the club. These circumstances certainly makes the matter very seriously. My uncle has been teaching me mathematics. Zafar, the Barmecide, the good vizier, the poor man's hope, the friend without a peer. Zafar was dead, slain by a doom unjust. Who are you? 2. Phrases. Adjective phrases. We have seen that sometimes a group of words does the work of an adjective. Now examine the following pair of sentences. First, A. The vizier was wealthy man. B. The vizier was a man of great wealth. 2. A. The magistrate was a kind man. B. The magistrate was a man with a kindly nature. Third, A. The chief lived in stone house. B. The chief lived in a house built of stone. Fourth, A. I like to see a smiling face. B. I like to see face with a smile on it. 5. A. The coolies belong to hill tribe. B. The coolies belong to tribe dwelling in the hills. In each of the above pair of sentences, we have first single word describing the person or thing denoted by the noun, and then a group of words describing the person or thing denoted by the same noun. For instance, the group of words great wealth tells us what sort of man the vizier was. It qualifies the noun man just an adjective does. It therefore does the work of an adjective and is called an adjective phrase. Definition. An adjective phrase is a group of words what does the work of an adjective. 15. Study the following adjective and the adjective phrases that are the equivalent to them. Adjectives. Adjective phrases. A golden crown. A crown made of gold. A purple clock. A clock of purple color. A white elephant. An elephant with white skin. A jungle track. A track through the jungle. A blue-eyed boy. A boy with blue eyes. A deserted village. A village without any inhabitants. A blank page. A page with no written on it. The longest day. The day of greatest length. The Spanish flag. The flag of Spain. The heavy load. load of great weight. Adverb phrases. Just as the work of an adjective is often done by a group of words called an adjective phrases, so the work of an adverb is often done by a group of words. Study the following pair of sentences carefully. First one. A. Rama ran quickly. In bracket, how? B. Rama ran with great speed. In bracket, how? 2. A. He answered rudely. In bracket, how? B. He answered in a very rude manner. In bracket, how? Third. A. He does his work carelessly. In bracket, how? B. Does his work without any care. In bracket, how? Fourth. A. He is coming now. In bracket, when? B. He is coming at this every moment. In bracket, when? 5. A. No such diseases were known then. In bracket, when? B. No such diseases were known in those days. In bracket, when? 6. A. The arrow fell here. In bracket, where? B. The arrow fell on this spot. In bracket, where? 7. A. You can buy it everywhere. In bracket, where? B. You can buy it in all places. In bracket, where? 8. A. He fell down. In bracket, where? B. He fell to the ground. In bracket, where? In each of the above pairs of sentence, we have first a single word modifying a verb and then a group of words modifying a verb in the same way. For instance, the group of words with great speed tell us how Rama ran. It modifies the verb ran just as the adverb quickly does. It therefore does the work of an adverb and is called an adverb phrase. Definition. An adverb phrase is a group of words that does the work of an adverb. Note. An adverb phrase, like an adverb, may modify also an adjective or adverb, as quinine is a good for malaria. I have done well on the whole. Study the following adverbs and the adverb phrases that are equivalent to them. Adverbs. Adverb phrases. In adverbs, bravely. In adverb phrases, in a brave manner or with bravery. Adverbs. Unwisely. In a unwise manner or without wisdom. In adverb. Swiftly. In adverb phrases, in a swift manner or with swiftness. In adverb. Beautifully. Adverb phrases, in a beautiful style. Adverbs. Formally. Adverb phrases, in former times or once upon a time. Adverbs. Recently. In adverb phrases, just now or at a recent day. In adverbs. Soon. Adverb phrases, before very long or at an early date. In adverbs. There. In adverb phrases, at that place. In adverbs, away. Adverb phrases, to another place. Adverbs, abroad. In adverb phrases, to in an foreign country. Compare. First one. The crowd in the bazaar was very noisy. Second. The crowd halted in the bazaar. In the sentence 1, the phrase in the bazaar tells us which crowd was very noisy. That is, it qualifies the noun crowd. It is therefore an adjective phrase. In sentence 2, the phrase in the bazaar tells us where the crowd halted. That is, it modifies the verb halted. It is therefore an adverb phrase. Hence, we can see that the same phrase may be an adjective phrase in one sentence and an adverb phrase in another sentence. We cannot say what kind of phrase a given phrase is until examine the work which it does in a sentence. Noun phrases. Examine the following sentences. First one, the boy wants something. Second one, the boy wants to go home. The word something is a noun and it is the object of the verb wants. In sentence 1, similarly, the group of words to go home is the object of the word wants in sentence 2. Hence, this group of words does the work of a noun. The group of words to go home is therefore a noun phrase. Definition: a noun phrase is a group of words that does the work of a noun. Further example of noun phrases: early to bed is a good maxim. We enjoy playing cricket. Did you enjoy reading this book? To win a prize is my ambition. He hopes to win the first prize. He loves to issue harsh orders. I tried to get the sum right. Standing about in a cold wet wind did me no good. Chapter 3: Clauses. First one, adverb clauses. Look at the group of words in a italic in the following sentences. First one, the rested at sunset. Second one, the rested when evening came. It is evident that both of the group of words in italics in 1 and 2 do the work of an adverb as they modify the verb rested, showing when the action was performed. We at once recognize the first group of words at sunset as an adverb phrases is the second group of words when evening came, also an adverb phrases. Now, it is not a phrase for, unlike a phrase, it has a subject and a predicate of its own and is thus like sentence. But though like a sentence, it is part of sentence, such as a group of words that forms part of sentence and has a subject and a predicate of its own is called clause. Since the clause when evening came does the work of an adverb, it is called an adverb clause. Definition: an adverb clause is a group of words which contains subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of an adverb. Examine the following sentences. First one, the stolen property was found in the dacoit's hiding place. Second one, the stolen property was found where the dacoits were accumulated to hide. It will be noticed that both the group of words in italics do the work of an adverb, but the group of words in the italic sentence 2 is a clause because it has a subject and a predicate of its own, while the group of words in italics in sentence 1 is a phrase. We further notice that adverb phrases in the dacoit's hiding place is equivalent to the adverb clause where the dacoits were accumulated to hiding and can therefore be replaced by it. Two clauses. Look at the group of words in italic in the following sentences. First one, the umbrella with a broken handle is mine. In bracket, which umbrella? Second one, the umbrella which has a broken handle is mine. Which umbrella? The first group of words with a broken handle describes the umbrella, that is, it qualifies the noun umbrella and does the work of an adjective. It is what we can call an adjective phrase. The second group of words which has a broken handle also describes the umbrella and so does the work of an adjective. But because it contains subject and a predicate of its own, it is called an adjective clause. Definition: an adjective clause is a group of words which contains subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of an adjective. Examine the following sentences. First one, he met a girl with blue eyes. Second one, he met a girl whose eyes were blue. The group of words with blue eyes qualifies the noun girl. The group of words whose eyes were blue also qualifies the noun girl. Hence both these group of words do the work of an adjective. Group of words with blue eyes is a praise, while the group of words whose eyes were blues is a clause. We further notice that adjective phrase with blue eyes is equivalent to the adjective clause whose eyes were blue and can therefore be replaced by it. Clauses. Examine the group of words in italic in the following sentences. First one, I expect to get a prize. Second one, I expect that I shall get a prize. The first group of words, to get a prize, does not contain subject and a predicate of its own. It is therefore a phrase. This phrase is object of the verb expect and hence does the work of a noun. It is therefore a noun phrase. The second group of words, that I shall get a prize, contains subject and a predicate of its own. It is therefore a clause. This clause is the object of the verb expect and so does the work of a noun. We therefore call it noun clause. Now examine the sentence. You have come pleases me. Here the clause that you have come is the subject of the verb pleases. It therefore does the work of a noun and is what we call a noun clause. Definition. A noun clause is a group of words which contains a subject and a predicate of its own and does the work of a noun. 4. Sentences. Simple, compound and complex. Examine the following sentences. First one, his courage won him honor. Second one, the moon was bright and we could see our way. Third, night came on and rain fell heavily and we all got very wet. Fourth, they rested when evening came. 5. As the boxers advanced into the ring, the people said they would not allow them to fight. 6. Anil called at 5:30 and I told him that you had gone out. We see that sentence 1 has only one subject and one predicate. Such a sentence is called simple sentences. Definition. A simple sentence is one which has only one subject and one predicate. Or a simple sentence is one which has only one finite verb. Sentence 2 consists of two parts. The moon was bright. Second one, we could see our way. These two parts are joined by the coordination conjunction and. Each part contains subject and a predicate of its own. Each part is what we call a clause. We further notice that each clause makes good sense by itself and hence could stand by itself as a separate sentence. Each clause is therefore independent of the other or of the same word or rank and is called a principal or main clause. A sentence such as the second, which is made up of principal or main clause, is called a compound sentence. Sentence 3 consists of three clauses of the same order or rank. In other words, sentence 3 consists of three principal or main clauses, which is first one, night came on. Second one, rain fell heavily. Third one, we all got very wet. Such a sentence is also called a compound sentence. Definition. A compound sentence is one made up of two or more principal or main clause. Note. The term double is now used for a sentence which consists of two principal or main clauses and the term multiple for a sentence of more than two principal or main clause. Sentence 4 consists of two parts. First one, they rested. Second one, when evening came, contains subject and a predicate of its own and forms part of large sentence. Each part is therefore a clause. We further notice that the clause they rested make good sense by itself and hence could stand by itself as a complete sentence. It is therefore called the principal or main clause. The clause when evening came cannot stand by itself and make good sense. It is depend on the sentence, such as the fourth is called a complex sentence. Sentence 5 consists of three clauses. First one, the people said. Second one, as the boxer advanced into the ring. Third one, they could not allow them to fight. Such a sentence is also called a complex sentence. Definition. A complex sentence consists of one main clause and one or more subordinate sentence. 6 consists of 3 clauses. First one, Anil called at 5:30. Second one, I told him. Third one, that you had gone out. Such a sentence is called a compound sentence. In addition to our 3 main clauses, a compound sentence sometimes includes one or more subordinate clauses. Look at the following compound sentences and notice the coordinating conjunctions joining clauses of equal rank. First one, I shall do it now or I shall not do it at all. Second one, he gave them no money, nor did he help them in any way. He threw the stone, but it missed the dog. He neither obtained success nor deserved it. He is either mad or he has become a criminal. I both thanked him and rewarded him. Chapter 5. More about noun clauses. We have seen that there are 3 kinds of subordinate clauses: the noun clauses, the adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. We have also seen that a noun clause is a subordinate which does the work of a noun in a complex sentence. Since a noun clause does the work of a noun in a complex sentence, it can be: first one, the subject of a verb; second one, the subject of a transitive verb; third one, the object of a preposition in opposition to a noun or pronoun; fifth one, the complement of a verb of incomplete predication. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the subject of a verb. First one, that you should say surprised me. That it would rain seemed likely. What he said was true. When I shall return is uncertain. How he could assist his friend was his chief concern. Why he left is a mystery. Whether we can start to tomorrow seems uncertain. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the object of a transitive verb. First one, he says that he won't go. Second one, I hoped that it was true. Third one, she denied that she had written the letter. Fourth one, I cannot tell what has become of him. Fifth one, I do not know when I shall return. Sixth one, I asked the boy how old he was. Seventh one, tell me why you did this. Eighth one, tell me where you live. Ninth one, no one knows who he is. 10th one, I earn whatever I can. Ask if he is at home. Each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is the object of a preposition. First one, pay careful attention to what I am going to say. There is no meaning in what you say. There were no complaints except that the day was too hot. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is a opposition to noun or pronoun. First one, your statement that you found the money in the street will not be believed. His belief that someday he would succeed cheered him through many disappointments. Third one, you must never forget this, that honesty is the best policy. It is feared that he will not come. Fifth one, it was unfortunate that you were absent. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause is used as a complement of a verb of incomplete predication. My belief is that he will not come. Her constant prayer was that the child might live. His great fear is that he may fail. My wish is that I may please you. Their request will be that they may be allowed to resign. Life is what we make it. This is where I live. Clause coming after a construction consisting of an intransitive verb and an adjective does the work of a noun and is therefore treated as a noun clause. In each of the following complex sentences, the noun clause comes after an intransitive verb construction. The first one, The child was afraid that he would fall down. Second one, all of us are keen that you should succeed. Third one, they felt sorry that they lost the match. Fourth one, the patient was sure that he would recover. Fifth one, she did not seem hopeful that he would arrive. It will be seen that the preposition of about are for necessary to connect the intransitive verb construction to the succeeding noun clause in each of the above sentences omitted. If we put a noun or a gerund instead of clause, we would say afraid of, keen about, sorry for, sure of, hopeful of, and the noun or gerund would be the object of the preposition in each case. The noun clause in each of the complex sentences may also be regarded as the object of the missing preposition after the intransitive verb construction. However, such noun clauses are often said to be used adverbially. Note: from the above example, it will be seen that a noun clause is generally introduced by the subordinating conjunction that sometimes, however, the conjunction that is omitted as I know he did it. Instead of noun clause introduced by that, the accusative with the infinitive is used. A. He thought that he was safe there. B. He thought himself to be safe there. Second one. A. I believed that he was a true friend. B. I believed him to be a true friend. Third one. A. This proved that the man had stolen the horse. B. This proved the man to have stolen the horse. Fourth. A. We know that Rama is alive. B. We know Rama to be alive. 6. More about adjective clauses. As we have seen, an adjective clause is in a complex sentence is a subordinate clause which does the work of an adjective and so qualifies some noun or pronoun in the main clause. An adjective clause is introduced by a relative pronoun or by a relative adverb, as uneasy lies the bed that wears crowd. He is the man whom we all respect. The time when the boat leaves is not yet fixed. The house where the accident occurred is nearby. The reason why I did it is obviously. Sometimes, however, a relative pronoun introduces coordinate clause, as I met Rama, who gave me your message. Here we are using relative noun who to introduces a coordinate clause. It might appear at first sight that the clause who gave me your message is an adjective clause and therefore subordinate. It will be seen that this is not the case, however, for it no way identifies or describes Rama. In the sentence, he is the boy who broke the windows. The clause who broke the window clearly identifies and describes the boy and is therefore an adjective clause. Below are further examples of who used to introduce a coordinate clause. I met Mr. Joshi, who thereupon shook hands with me. The prisoner was taken before the captain, who condemned him to instant death. He gave me a message which is this. He released the bird, which at once flew away. The relative pronoun or the relative adverb introducing an adjective clause is sometimes understood and not expressed as eat all you can. Here the relative pronoun that is understood. I saw a man I know. Here the relative pronoun whom is understood. Where is the book he left for me? Here the relative pronoun which is understood. On the day you pass the examination, I shall give you reward. Here the relative adverb when is understood. The reason I have come is to ask for my money. Here the relative adverb why is understood. In ordered English, but was used as a relative pronoun as in the sentences below. In such cases, but equivalent to a relative pronoun followed by a not. There was not a woman present but wept to hear such news. That is, who did not weep to hear such news. And not a man of the 300 at Thermopylae but died at his post. That is, who did not die at his post. Nor is there a man here but loved our chaos. There was not a widow but longed to die upon the pyre of her husband. That is, who did not long to die, etc. There is no fireside but has the one vacant chair. That has not one vacant chair. Note that is sometimes used as a preposition before a relative pronoun in the adjective clause, as they elected drama than whom no better boy ever went to school. He will follow Brutus than whom Rome knows no nobler son. It was a blow than which no crueler was ever struck. We came to spot that which mine eyes have seldom seen in a lovelier sight. The infinitive with to is often used as the equivalent of an adjective clause. First one, give me some food which I may eat. Second one, give me some food to eat. First one, he has no boots which he can wear. Second one, he has no boots to wear. First one, the doctor has given me medicine which I must take. Second one, the doctor has given me medicine to take. First one, I have work which I must do. Second one, I have work to do. First one, his mother gave him rupees 10 which he might put in his money box. Second one, his mother gave him rupees 10 to put in his money box. Chapter 7. More about adverb clauses. We have seen that an adverb clause is a subordinate clause which does the work of an adverb. It may therefore modify some verb, adverb, or adverb in the main clause, as while it is hot, you are taller than I thought. He ran so quickly that he soon overtook me. Adverb clauses are of many kinds and may be classified as adverb clauses of first one, time; second one, place; third one, purpose; fourth one, clause; fifth one, condition; sixth one, result; seventh one, comparison; eighth one, composition or concession. Adverb clauses of time. Adverb clauses of time are introduced by subordinated conjunction whenever, while, after, before, since, as, etc. When you have finished your work, you may go home. I will do it when I think fit. Don't talk while she is singing. While I command this ship, there will be good discipline. He came after night had fallen. After the law had been passed, this form of crime ceased. Do it before you forget. Before you go, bring me some water. I have not been well since I returned from Chennai. There was a silence as the leader spoke. As he came into the room, all rose to their feet. The doctor always comes whenever he is sent for. They were commanded to wait till the signal was given. The word always will be the same as long as men were men. As soon as he heard the news, he wrote to me. Adverb clauses of place. Adverb clauses of place are introduced by the subordinated conjunction where and whenever. I have put it where I can find it again. They can stay where they are. He led the caravan wherever he wanted to go. You can put it wherever you like. Let him be arrested wherever he may be found. In order English whence and whichever were also used. Go quickly, whence you came. The wind bloweth whither is listeth. Of purpose. Adverb clauses of purpose. Adverb clauses of purpose are introduced by the subordinated conjunction so that in order and lest are used in formal style. I will give you a map so that you can find the way. We eat so that we may live. The UNO was formed in order that countries might discuss world problems better. He was extra polite to his superiors, lest something adverse should be written into his records. Sleep not, lest your Lord come in the night. The conjunction that occurred in ordered English, he drew thus for that he might defend himself. Come that I may bless thee. Adverb clauses of cause or reason. Adverb clauses of cause or reason are introduced by the subordinated conjunction because, as since, that as, because I like you, I shall help you. I did it because I wanted to. I did not buy it because I did not like the look of it. He thinks because he is rich, he can buy justice. Since you are so clever, you will be able to explain this. Since your father is not at home, I will ask you to take the message. Since you swear to serve me faithfully, I will employ you. I am glad that you like it. He was very blessed that you have passed. As he was not there, I spoke to his brother. Adverb clauses of condition. Adverb clauses of condition are introduced by the subordinated conjunction if, whether, unless, as. If I like it, I shall buy it. Come if you wish to. If it rains, we shall stay at home. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You must go whether you hear from him or not. Whether the Raja gives him blows or money, he will speak the truth. Unless you work harder, you will fail. I won't pay it unless he sends me the bill again. I will forgive you on condition that do not repeat the offense. Adverb clauses of result or consequence. Adverb clauses of result or consequence are introduced by the subordinated conjunction that frequently so are so such precedes it in the principal clause as they fought so bravely that the enemy were driven off. So bravely did they fight that the enemy were driven off. Literary. He is such a good man that all respect him. So great a fire raged that London was burnt down. The Romans built in such a way that their walls are still standing. He spoke in such a low voice that few could hear him. So terrible a disease broke out that very few of the people survived. Very heavy rain fell so that the rivers were soon in flood. Laws were quickly passed so that this abuse was checked. He behaved in such a manner that his reputation suffered. So cold was it that many died. Note the subordinated conjunction that is often dropped in informal English. He was so weak, he could not speak. I am so deaf, I cannot hear thunder. It was so late, I waited no longer. He is so old, he can hardly walk. It was so small, I could not see it. Adverb clauses of comparison. Adverb clauses of comparison are two types. First one, adverb clauses of comparison of degree. Second one, adverb clauses of comparison of manner. Adverb clauses of comparison of degree are introduced by the subordinated conjunction that are than or by the relative adverb as he is older than he looks. No one can run faster than Rama. It is later than I thought. You must work harder than I do. He is as stupid as he is lazy. Note: the verb of the adverb clauses of comparison of degree is often understood and not expressed as nobody knows it better than I. Few are better leader than he. You like curry better than I. It will happen as sure as death. Not many know the truth of this better than you. Adverb clauses of comparison of manner are introduced by the relative adverb as you may do as you please. It all ended as I expected. As you have made your bed, so you must lie on it. As he has lived, so will he die. As the twig is bent, the branch will grow. Adverb clauses of supposition are concession. Adverb clauses of supposition or concession are introduced by the subordinated conjunction though, although, even if, as. Though I am poor, I am honest. Though heavens fall, justice must be done. Though he slay me, yet will I love him. He set sail, though the storm threatened. Although the troops had marched all day, they fought bravely all night. Although I forbade this, you have done it. I shall be able to get in, although I have no ticket. Even if it rains, I shall come. Even if he is able to do a great deal of work. I would not do it, even if paid me. Chapter 8: Analysis of Complex Sentences. Clause Analysis. Usually, when a complex or compound sentence is given for analyzing, details analysis is not required. The student is asked to give clause analysis, that is, he is asked to break up a given sentence into its several clauses and show their relation to one another. In analyzing a complex sentence, the first step is to find out the principal or main clause. The next step is to find out the subordinate clause or clauses, showing the relation which each clause bears to the principal clause. Now study carefully the following example of the analysis of a complex sentence. Whenever he heard the question, the old man who lived in that house answered that the earth is flat. Complex sentence containing three subordinate clauses. First one, the old man answered. Principal clause. Second one, whenever he heard the question. Adverb clause of time, modifying answered in one. Third one, who lived in that house. Adjective clause, qualifying man in one. Fourth one, that the earth is flat. Noun clause, object of answered in one. Sometimes a subordinate clause has another subordinate clause within it. That is, a subordinate clause has another subordinate clause depend on it. Example A. I think that he destroyed the letter which you sent there. First one, I think, principal clause. Second one, that he destroyed the letter, noun clause, object of thinking one. Third one, which you sent there, adjective clause, subordinate to, qualifying letter. B. He replied that he worked whenever he liked. First one, he replied, principal clause. Second one, that he worked, noun clause, object of replied in one. Third one, whenever he liked, adverb clause, subordinate to, object of said. One afternoon, as in that sultry clime, it is the custom in the summer time, with bolted doors and window shutters closed, the inhabitants of Atri slept or dozed, when suddenly upon their senses fell The loud alarm of the accusing bell. Complex sentence containing two subordinate clauses. First one afternoon, with bolted doors and window shutters closed. The inhabitants of a tree slept or dozed. Principal clause. As in that sultry climb, it is the custom in the summer time. Adverb clause of manner, modifying slept or dozed in one. Third one, when suddenly upon their senses fell the loud alarm of the accusing bell. Adverb clause of time, modifying slept or dozed in one. Below are further examples. First one, breathes there the man will soul so dead, who never to himself hath said, this is my own, my native land. Complex sentence containing two subordinate clauses. First one, breathes there the man with soul so dead. Principal clause. Second one, who never to himself hath said. Adjective clause, qualifying man in one. Third one, this is my own, my native land. Noun clause, subordinate to two. Object of hath said. Everyone who knows you acknowledge when he considered the case calmly that you have been wronged. Complex sentence containing three subordinate clauses. Everyone acknowledges. Principal clause. Second one, who knows you? Adjective clause, qualifying one in one. Third one, when he considers the case calmly. Adverb clause, modifying acknowledges in one. Fourth one, that you have been wronged. Noun clause, object of acknowledge in one. Do the work that's nearest. Though it is dull at whiles, helping when you meet them, lame dogs over stills. Complex sentences containing three subordinate clauses. First one, you do the work helping lame dogs over stiles. Principal clause. Second one, that is nearest. Ad- Adjective clause, qualifying work in one. Third one, though it is dull at whiles. Adverb clause of concession, modifying helping in one. Fourth one, when you meet them. Adverb clause of time, modifying helping in one. Fourth one, I knew a man who believed that if a man were permitted to make the ballads, he need not care who made the laws of nation. Complex sentence containing four subordinate clauses. First one, I knew a man. Principal clause. Second one, who believed. Adjective clause, qualifying a man in one. Third one, that he need not care. Noun clause, subordinate to, subject of believed. Fourth one, who made the laws of nation. Noun clause, subordinate to two, object of care. Fifth one, if a man were permitted to make the ballots. Adverb clause of condition, subordinate to three, modifying need not care. The man who can play most heartily when he has the chance of playing is generally the man who can work most heartily when he must work. Complex sentences containing four subordinate clauses. First one, the man is generally the man. Principal clause. Second one, who can play most heartily. Adjective clause, qualifying man, subject in one. Third one, when he has the chance of playing. Adverb clause, subordinate to two, modifying play. Fourth one, who can work most heartily. Adverb clause, qualifying man, complement in one. Fifth one, when he must work. Adverb clause, subordinate to four, modifying work. Should you be so unfortunate as to suppose that you are a genius and that things will come to you, it would be well to undeceive yourself as soon as it is possible. Complex sentence containing four subordinate clauses. First one, it would be well to undeceive yourself. Principal clause. Second one, as soon as it is possible. Adverb clause of time, subordinate to one. Third one, should you be so unfortunate as to suppose. Adverb clause of condition, subordinate to one. Fourth one, that you are a genius. Noun clause, subordinate to three. Subject of to suppose. Fifth one, and that things will come to you. Noun clause, coordinate with 4 and subordinate to 3. Subject to suppose. Chapter 9, Analysis of a Compound Sentences. Clause Analysis. A compound sentence is made up of two or more principal or main clauses joined together by a coordinating conjunction and sometimes includes one or more subordinate clauses. First one, the horse reared and the rider was thrown. Two main clauses. Second one, they were fond of music, played on various kinds of instrument and indulged in much singing. Three main clauses. Third one, they asked him how he received the wound, but he refused to answer. Two main clauses plus one subordinate clause. Fourth one, he says what he means and he means what he says. Two main clauses plus two subordinate clauses. It has been already pointed out that the term double is now used for a sentence which is made up of two main clauses, and the term multiple for sentences of more than two main clauses. In accordance with this new terminology, 1, 3, and 4 are double sentences, and 2 is a multiple sentence. The connection between two main clauses of a compound sentence may be one of the following four kinds cumulative, as God made the country and man made the town. Babur was not only a great soldier, he was also a wiser ruler. He cannot speak, nor he write. He plays the piano. He sings also. The innocents were punished as well as the guilty. Here in each sentence, the main clauses are simply coupled together. Second one, adversative, as he is slow, but he is sure. I did my best, nevertheless I failed. He is rich, yet he is not happy. He is vain, still his friends adore him. Here in each sentence, the two main clauses are opposed in meaning to each other. Third one, alternative or disjunctive, as she must sweep or she will die. Either he is mad or he finds madness. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. Walk quickly, else you will not overtake him. Here in each sentence, the two main clauses are disjoint in meaning, and a choice between them is offered for acceptance. Fourth one, illative, as he is diligent, therefore he will succeed. He is unwell, so he cannot attend office. The angles are equal, consequently, the sides are equal. Here in each sentences, the second clause draws an interference from the first. Sometimes no connecting word is used to join two main clauses, as temperance promotes health, intemperance destroys it. Her coat was pure, her life serene. Sometimes a subordinate conjunction is used to join the clauses of a compound sentence, as I shall see you tomorrow when and then we can finish the business. I walked with him to the station where we are parted. Compared sentences are often constructed, for example, when the main clauses have first one a common subject as he chid their wanderings but relieved their pain. He chid their wanderings but he relieved their pain. A common verb as some praise the work and some the architect. Some praise the work and some praise the architect. Study carefully the clause analysis of the following. First one day Bassanio came to Antonio and told him that he wished to repair his fortune by a wealthy marriage with a lady whom he dearly loved, whose father had left her soul heiress to a large estate. Analysis this is a compound or double sentence consisting of first one day Bassanio come to Antonio. Principal clause. Second Bassanio told him. Principal clause. Coordinate with A. B1 that he wished to repair his fortunes by a wealthy marriage with a lady. Noun clause. Object of told in B. B2 whom he dearly loved. Adjective clause subordinate to B1, qualifying lady. B3 whose father had left her sole heiress to a large estate. Adjective clause subordinate to B1, qualifying lady, and coordinate with B2. Before he died, the good Earl of Kent, who had still attended his old master's steps from the first of his daughters, ill usage to this sad period of his decay, tried to make him understand that if he was he who had followed him under the name of Caius, but Lear's care grazed brain at that time could not comprehend how that could be, or how Kent and Caius could be the same person. Analysis. This is a compound or double sentence consisting of A. The good Earl of Kent tried to make him understand. Principal clause. A1. Before he died. Adverb clause. Modifying tried in A. A2. Who had still attended his old master steps from the first of his daughters, ill usage to this sad period of his decay. Adjective clause qualifying Earl of Kent in 1. A3 that it was he. Noun clause object of understanding A. ಇವತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ A4 who had followed him under the name of Caius, adjective clause subordinate to A3, qualifying he. B. But Lear's care crazed brain at that time could not comprehend. Principal clause coordinate with A. B1 how that could be. Noun clause object of comprehend in B. B2 or how Kent and Caius could be the same person. Noun clause object of comprehend in B. Coordinate with B1. Chapter 10 Transformation of Sentences. The student has already learned that phrase can be expanded into a clause and clause contracted into a phrase. That is, the form of sentences can be changed without changing the meaning. In this chapter, we shall show some other ways of changing the form of sentence. The conversation or transformation of sentences is an excellent exercise as it teaches variety of expression in writing English. First sentences containing the adverb to. We can change the form of a sentence containing adverb to as shown below. First the news is too good to be true. The news is so good that it cannot be true. Second one, these mangoes are too cheap to be good. These mangoes are so cheap that they cannot be good. Third one, he drew too fast for the police to catch. He drew so fast that the police could not catch him. Interchange of the degree of the comparison. As the following examples show, it is possible to change the degree of the comparison of an adjective or adverb in a sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. Positive, I am as strong as him. Comparative, he is not stronger than me. Positive, this razor is not as sharp as that one. Comparative, that razor is sharper than this one. Positive, few historians write a interestingly as a Joshi. Comparative, Joshi writes more interestingly than most historians. Positive, no other metal is as useful as iron. Comparative, iron is more useful than any other metal. Superlative, iron is the most useful of all metals. Superlative, India is the largest democracy in the world. Comparative, India is larger than any other democracy in the world. Positive, no other democracy in the world is as larger as India. Comparative, Mumbai is richer than most other cities in India. Positive, very few cities in India are rich as Mumbai. Superlative, Usha Kiran is not the tallest of all the buildings in the city. Comparative, Usha Kiran is not taller than some other buildings in the city. Or positive, some other buildings in the city are perhaps taller than Usha Kiran. Some other buildings in the city are at least as tall as Usha Kiran. Or superlative, Usha Kiran is perhaps not as tall as some other buildings in the city. Naomi is not one of the cleverest girls in the class. Comparative, some girls of the class are clever than Naomi. Or positive, Naomi is less clever than some other girls of the class. Naomi is not so clever as some other girls of the class. Interchange of active and passive voice. A sentence in the active form can be changed into the passive form and vice versa. Active, Brutus stabbed Caesar. Passive, Caesar was stabbed by Brutus. Active, the people will make him president. Passive, he will be made president by people. Passive, he will be made president by people. Active, who taught you grammar? By whom were you taught grammar? Who were you taught grammar by? Passive, by whom was grammar taught to you? Active, the governor gave him reward. Passive, he was given a rewarded by governor. A reward was given to him by the governor. Active, the Romans expected to the conquer Carthage. Passive, it was expected by the Romans that they would conquer Carthage. Active, one should keep one's promises. Passive, promises should be kept. Active, I know her. Passive, she is known to me. Active, my captors were taking me to prison. Passive, I was being taken to prison by my captors. Active, his behavior vexes me sometimes. Passive, I am sometimes vexed at his behavior. Active, it is time to shut up the shop. Passive, it is time for the shop to be shut up. Active, the audience loudly cheered the mayor's speech. Passive, the mayor's speech was loudly cheered. Note, Whenever it is evident who the agent door of the action is, it is necessary to mention him in the passive form, and this omission gives a neater turn to the sentence. Thus, in the last example, the agency is not mentioned in the passive form because only those who hear the speech could have cheered it. Passive. My pocket has been picked. Active. Someone has picked my pocket. Passive. Our army has been defeated. Active. The enemy has defeated our army. Passive. I shall be obligated to go. Active. The circumstances will obligate me to go. Note: the active voices is used when the agent or actor is to be made prominent. The passive when the thing acted upon is to be made prominent. Hence, the passive voice may be used when the agent is unknown or when we do not care to name the agent, as the ship was wrecked. Interchange of affirmative and negative sentences. Study the following examples. First one: Brutus loved Caesar. Brutus was not without love for Caesar. Second one: I was doubtful whether it was you. I was not sure that it was you. Third one: old fools surpass all other fools in folly. There is no fool like an old fool. Fourth one: he is greater than me. I am not so great as him. Fifth hymn: Alfred was the best king that ever reigned in England. No other king as good as Alfred ever reigned in England. Interchange of interrogative and assertive sentences. Study the following examples. What though we happen to be late? It does not matter much that we happen to be late. Second one: why waste time in reading trash? It is extremely foolish to waste time in reading trash. Third one: were we sent into the world simply to make money? We were not sent into the world simply to make money. Fourth one: how can man die better than facing fearful odds? Man cannot be die better than facing fearful odds. Fifth one: when can their glory fade? Their glory can never fade. Sixth one: was he not willing to do such a deed? He was willing to do such a deed. Interchange of exclamatory and assertive sentences. Study the following examples. How sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this blank. The moonlight very sweetly sleeps upon the blank. Second one: if only I were young again. I wish I were young again. Third one: alas that youth should pass away. It said that think that you should pass away. Fourth one: how beautiful is night. Night is very beautiful. Interchange of one part of speech for another. Study the following examples. First one: that kind of joke does not assume me. That kind of joke does not give me any assument. Second one: it cost 12 rupees. The cost is 12 rupees. Third one: he has disgraced his family. He is disgrace to his family. Fourth one: he fought bravely. He put up brave fight. Fifth one: the Treaty of Salbai should be remembered as one of the landmarks in the history of India. The Treaty of Salbai is worthy of remembrance as one of the landmarks in the history of India. Sixth one: I cannot consent to your going. I cannot give my consent to your going. Seventh one: he gave a curt reply. He replied curtly. Eighth one: he showed generosity even to his enemies. He was generous even to his enemy. Ninth one. There is a slight difference between the two shades. The two shades are slightly different. Tenth one. The act made the Negro slaves flee. The act gave freedom to the Negro slaves. 11th one. I see him every day. I see him daily. 12th. He examined the document carefully. He examined the document with care. 13. We passed an anxious hour. We passed an hour anxiously. 14. Few historians have written in a more interesting manner than Gibbon. Few historians have written more interestingly than Gibbon. 15. He presumptuously ignored my advice. He presumed to ignore my advice. Chapter 11. Transformation of sentences. A simple sentence can be converted into compound one by enlarging word or a phrase into a coordinate clause, as simple. He must work very hard to make up for the lost time. Compound. He must work very hard and make up for the lost time. Simple. To his eternal disgrace, he betrayed his country. Compound. He betrayed his country, and this was to his external disgrace. Simple. Besides robbing the poor child, he also murdered her. Compound. He is not only robbed the poor child but also murdered her. Simple. He must work very hard to win the first prize. Compound. He must work very hard or he will not win the first prize. Simple. He must not attempt to escape or pain of death. Compound. He must not attempt to escape or he will be put to death. Simple. Notwithstanding his handwork, he did not succeed. Compound. He worked hard yet did not succeed. Simple. Owing to ill luck, he met with a bad accident on the eve of his examination. Compound. He was unlucky and therefore met with a bad accident on the eve of his examination. Simple. The teacher punished the boy for disobedience. Compound. The boy was disobedient and so the teacher punished him. Conversion of sentence to simple sentences. The following example illustrates the chief ways of converting compound sentences to simple sentences, as compound. He finished his exercise and put away his books. Simple. Having finishing his exercise, he put away his books. Compound. Not only did his father give him money, but his mother did too. Simple. Besides his father giving him money, his mother also did the same. Compound. He was a mere boy, but he offered to fight the giant. Simple. In spite of his being mere boy, he offered to fight the giant. Compound. He must not be late or he will be punished. Simple. In the event of his being late, he will be punished. Compound. You must either pay the bill at once or return the goods. Simple. Failing prompt payment, the good must be returned by you. Compound. The man endured all the horrors of the campaign and not one of the complained at all. Simple. The man endured all of horrors of the campaign without one of the making any complaint. Compound. We must eat or we cannot live. Simple. We must eat to live. Conversion of simple sentence to complex. A simple sentence can be converted to complex sentence by expanding a word or phrase into a subordinate clause. This clause may be noun, adjective, or adverb clause. Simple. He confessed his crime. Complex. He confessed that he was guilty. Simple. His silence proves his guilt. Complex. The fact that he is silent proves his guilt. Simple. He bought his uncle's library. Complex. He bought the library which belonged to his uncle. Simple. On the arrival of the mails, the ship will leave. Complex. The ship will leave as soon as the mails arrive. Complex. Simple. He owed his success to his father. Complex. It was owing to his father that he succeeded. Simple. He worked hard to pass the examination. Complex. He worked hard to that he might pass the examination. Simple. Can being jealous of Abel struck him? Complex. Can struck Abel because he was jealous of him? Simple. Only Indians are admitted. Complex. If you are not an Indian, you cannot be admitted. Simple. He succeeded unexpectedly. Complex. He succeeded although his success was not expected. Simple. The management is truly bad. Complex. The management is as bad as it could be. Simple. A man's modesty is in inverse proportion to his ignorance. Complex. The more ignorant a man is, the less modest he is. Conversion of complex sentences to simple sentences. Study the following examples. Noun clause. Complex. He said that he was innocent. Simple. He declared his innocence. Complex. That your drink aggravates your offense. Simple. Your drunkenness aggravates your offense. Complex. Tell me where you live. Simple. Tell me where your address. Complex. It is pity that we should have to undergo this disgrace. Simple. Our having to undergo this disgrace is pity. Complex. It is proclaimed that all men found with arms will be shot. Simple. According to the proclamation, all men found with arms will be shot. Complex. He remarked how impudent the boy was. Simple. He remarked on the boy's impudence. Complex. How long I shall stay is doubtful. Simple. The duration of my stay is doubtful. Complex. Except that he hurt his hand, he was lucky. Simple. Except for the hurt to his hand, he was unlucky. Adjective clause. Study the following examples. Complex. He died in the village where he was born. Simple. He died in his native village. Complex. The moment which is lost forever. Simple. The lost moment is lost forever. Complex. Men who have risen by their own exertions are always respected. Simple. Self-made men are always respected. Complex. They that are old have no need of the physician. Simple. Healthy persons have no need of physicians. Complex. We came upon a hut where peasants lived. Simple. We came upon a peasant hut. Complex. Youth is the time when the seeds of character are sown. Simple. Youth is the time for the formation of character. Complex. The exact time when his occurrence has not been asserted. Simple. The exact time of the occurrence has not been asserted. Complex. The son who was his chief pride in his old age is dead. Simple. His son, the pride of old age, is dead. Complex. The place where the Buddha was cremated has recently been discovered. Simple. The place of Buddha's cremation has recently been discovered. Complex. I have no advice that I can offer you. Simple. I have no advice to offer you. Adverb clause. Study the following example. Complex. The captain was annoyed that he had not carried out his orders. Simple. The captain was annoyed at his not having carried out his orders. Complex. You 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 can talk as much as you like. Simple. You can talk to your heart content. Complex. Everything comes if a man will only work and wait. Simple. Everything comes to a diligent and patient man. Complex. I am pushing my business wherever I can find an opening. Simple. I am pushing my business in every possible direction. Complex. He will not pay unless he is compelled. Simple. He will pay only under compulsion. Complex. You have succeeded better than you hoped. Simple. You have succeeded beyond your hope. Complex. When the cat is away, the mice will pay. Simple. In the absence of the cat, the mice will play. Complex. He does not always speak as he thinks. Simple. He does not always speak his thoughts. Complex. A good boy will always do as he is commanded by his superior. Simple. A good boy will always carry out the commands of his superior. Complex. I was surprised when I heard him talk so. Simple. I was surprised to hear him talk so. Complex. He was so tired that he could not stand. Simple. He was too tired to stand. Complex. If I make a promise, I keep it. Simple. I make a promise only to keep it. Complex. As the war was ended, the soldiers returned. Simple. The war being ended, the soldiers returned. Complex. While there is a life, there is a hope. Simple. Life and hope are inseparable. Complex. As you sow, so you will reap. Simple. You will but reap the fruits of your sowing. Conversion of a compound sentence to complex sentences. Study the following examples. Compound. Search his pockets and you will find the watch. Complex. If you search his pockets, you will find the watch. Compound. Do as I tell you or you will regret it. Complex. Unless you do as I tell you, you will regret it. Compound. The lion was wounded but not killed. Complex. The lion was not killed although he was wounded. Compound. Waste not, want not. Complex. If you do not waste, you will not want. Compound. He saw the danger but pressed on. Complex. Although he saw the danger, he paused on. Compound. He saw the danger and paused. Complex. When he saw the danger, he paused. Compound. He aimed at winning the prize and worked hard. Complex. He worked hard so that he might win the prize. Compound. He had to sign or be executed. Complex. If he had not signed, he would not been executed. Compound. He is buried near Rome and myrtles grow round his grave. Complex. He is buried near Rome in a place where myrtles grow. Compound. He wishes to become learned, therefore he is studying hard. Complex. He is studying hard so that he may become learned. Conversion of complex sentences to compound sentences. Study the following examples. Complex. I am certain you have made a mistake. Compound. You have made a mistake, and of this I am certain. Complex. I am glad that he has recovered from illness. Compound. He has recovered from illness, and I am glad of it. Complex. We can prove that the earth is round. Compound. The earth is round and we can prove it. Complex. I have found the book that I had lost. Compound. I had lost a book but I have found it. Complex. As soon as he got the telegram, he left in a taxi. Compound. He got the telegram and immediately he left in taxi. Complex. He worked hard so that he might win the prize. Compound. He aimed at winning the prize and worked hard. Complex. If he is at home, I shall see him. Compound. He may be at home, and in that case, I shall see him. Complex. He lost more than he could afford. Compound. He could afford to lose something, but he lost somewhat more. Complex. He is more a philosopher than a poet. Compound. He is something of poet, but rather more of philosopher. Complex. If you do not hurry, you will miss the train. Compound. You must hurry or you will miss the train. Complex. Unless we do our work well, our master will be angry with us. Compound. We must do our work well, or our master will be angry with us. Complex. We sow so that we may reap. Compound. We desire to reap, therefore we sow. Chapter 13. Synthesis of sentences. Combination of two or more simple sentences into a single compound sentence. Simple sentences may be combined to form compound sentences by the use of coordinative conjunction. These are of four kinds: cumulative, adversative, alternative, and elative. First one. 1. Night came on, the room grew dark. Night came on and the room grew dark. Second one. He is a fool. He is a knave. He is a fool and a knave. Or he is both a fool and a knave. Or he is not only a fool but also a knave. Or he is a fool as well as knave. Third one. The wind blew. The rain fell. The lightning flashed. The wind blew, the rain fell, and the lightning flashed. It will be noticed that the conjunction and simple adds one statement to another. The conjunction both and not only but also as well as are emphatic form of and do the same work. Conjunction which merely add one statement to another are called cumulative. First one. He is slow, he is sure. He is slow, but he is sure. Second one. I was annoyed, I kept quiet. I was annoyed, still I kept quiet. Third one. He is failed, he pursued. He failed, nevertheless, he pursued. Fourth one. I shall not oppose your design. I cannot approve of it. I shall not oppose your design. I cannot, however, approve of it. Fifth one. He was all right. He was fatigued. He was all right, only he was fatigued. It will be noticed that the conjunction but, still yet, nevertheless, however, express a contrast between one sentence and the other. Some of these conjunctions in bracket, still yet, however, nevertheless, are more emphatic than but. Conjunction which express opposition or constant between the two statements are called adversative. First one, make haste, you will be late. Make haste or you will be late. Second one, come in, go out. Come in or go out. Or more emphatically, either come in or go out. Third one, do not be borrower, do not be lender. Do not be borrower or a lender. Or be neither a borrower nor a lender. It will be noticed that the conjunction or either or neither nor expression a choice between two alternative conjunctions which express a choice between two alternatives are called alternative. First one, he was obstinate, he was punished. Second one, he was obstinate, therefore he was punished. Second one, I cannot see, it is very dark. I cannot see, for it is very dark. Third one, it is raining heavily. I will take an umbrella with me. It is raining heavily, so I will take an umbrella with me. It will be noticed that the conjunction therefore, for, so, etc. join sentences in each one statement is inferred from the other conjunctions which express an interference are called illative. First one, Abdul is ill. He cannot study. He still attends school. Abdul is ill and cannot study, yet he still attends school. Second one, he saw the boy in the street. He stopped to speak to him. He gave him a rupee. Seeing the boy in the street, he stopped to speak to him and gave him rupee. Synthesis of a sentences. Combination of two or more simple sentences into a single complex sentence. First one, subordinate clause, a noun clause. In the following examples, the subordinate clause is a noun clause. First one, you are drunk, that aggravates your offense. That you are drunk aggravates your offense. Second one, he will be late, that this is certain. It is certain that he will be late. Third one, you are repentant, I will not forget it. I will not forget that you are repentant. Fourth one, he may be innocent, I do not know. I do not know whether he is innocent. Fifth one, he is short sighted, otherwise he is fit for the post. Except that he is short sighted, he is fit for the post. Sixth one, the clouds would disperse, that was our hope. Our hope was cheering. Our hope that the clouds would disperse was cheering. Seventh one, the game was lost. It was the consequence of his carelessness. The consequence of his carelessness was that the game was lost. Subordinate clause and adjective clause. In the following examples, the subordinate clause is an adjective clause. First one, a fox once met a lion. The fox had never seen a lion before. A fox who had never seen a lion before met him. Second one, she keeps her ornaments in safe. This is the safe. This is the safe where she keeps her ornaments. Third one, a cottager and his wife had hen. The hen laid an egg every day. The egg was golden. A cottager and his wife had a hen which laid an egg every day. Subordinate clause and adverb clause. In the following examples, the subordinate clause is an adverb clause. First one, Indira Gandhi died in 1984. Rajiv Gandhi therefore after became Prime Minister. When Indira Gandhi died in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi became Prime Minister. Second one, I waited for my friend. I waited till his arrival. I waited for my friend until he came. Third one. He fled somewhere. His pursuers could not follow him. He fled where his pursuers could not follow him. Fourth one. Let men sow anything, they will reap its fruit. As men sow, so shall they reap. Fifth one. You are strong, I am equally strong. I am as strong as you are. Sixth one. He was not there. I spoke to his brother for that reason. As he was not there, I spoke to his brother. Seventh one. We wish to live. We eat for that purpose. We eat so that we may live. Eighth one. He was quite tired. He could scarcely stand. He was so tired that he could scarcely stand. Ninth one. Don't eat too much. You will be ill. If you eat too much, you will be ill. Tenth one. He began late. He finished first. He finished first, though we began late. 11th one. I shall come. My being alone is condition. I shall come if I am alone. 12th. I must know all the facts. I cannot help you otherwise. Before I can help you, I must know all the facts. 13. He is superstitious. He is equally wicked. He is as superstitious as he is wicked. Carefully study the following sentences. First one. He had read Milton. He had read it in a Propos translation. He had read it when he was 14. He told us this. He told us that he had read Milton in a prose translation when he was 14. Second one. A bachelor may be surrounded with all sorts of luxurious. In spite of that, he will always find his happiness incomplete. He must have a wife and children. With whatever luxuries a bachelor may be surrounded, he will always find his happiness incomplete unless he has a wife and children. Third one. Pope proposed to have learned his poetry from Dryden, though his whole life he praised him with unrevered liberty. He did so whenever an opportunity was presented. Pope proposed to have learned his poetry from Dryden, whom, whenever an opportunity was presented, he praised through his whole life with unwearied liberty. Fourth one. Milton did not educate his daughters in the language. He said that one tongue was enough for women. Milton said that he did not educate his daughters in the languages because one tongue was enough for a woman. Fifth one. I sank into the water. I felt confused. Nothing can describe that confusion. Nothing can describe the confusion of thought which I felt when I sank into the water. Sixth one. We had in this village an idiot boy. I well remember that boy. From a child, he showed a strong propensity for bees. This was some 20 years ago. We had in this village some 20 years ago an idiot boy whom I well remember, who from a child showed a strong propensity for bees. Chapter 15. The sequence of tenses. The sequence of tenses is the principle in accordance with which the tenses of the verb in a subordinate clause follows the tense of the verb in the principal clause. Sequence is connected with the Latin verb sequere follow. The sequence of tenses applies chiefly to adverb clauses of purpose and noun clauses. First one. A past tense in the principal clause is followed by a past tense in the subordinate clause, as he hinted that he wanted money. She replied that she felt better. I found out that he was guilty. He saw that the clock had stopped. He replied that he would come. I never thought that I should see him again. I took care that he should not hear me. They climbed higher so that they might get a better view. I worked hard so that I might succeed. There are, however, two exceptions to this rule. First one, a past tense in the principal clause may be followed by a present tense in the subordinate clause. When the subordinate clause expresses a universal truth, as Newton discovered that the force of a gravitation makes apples fall, Galileo maintained that the earth moves around the sun, Euclid proved that the three angles of a triangle are equal to two right angles. He said that honesty is always the best policy. Second one, when the subordinate clause is introduced by a then, even if there is a past tense in the principal clause, it may be followed by an any tense required by the sense in the subordinate clause, as he liked you better than he likes me. He helped him more than he helps his own children. I then saw him oftener than I see him now. He valued his friendship more than he values mine. A present or future tense in the principal clause may be followed by any tense required by the sense, as he thinks that she is there. He thinks that she was there. He thinks that she will be there. He, he will think that she is there. He will think that she was there. He will think that she will be there. But in the sentence where the subordinate clause denotes purpose, if the verb in the principal clause is present or future, the verb in the subordinate clause must be present, as I eat so that I may live. I shall nurse him so that he may live. Chapter 16, Direct and Indirect Speech. We may report the words of a speaker in two ways. First one, we may quote his actual words. This is called direct speech. Second one, we may report that he said without quoting his exact words. This is called indirect or reported speech. Direct, Rama said, I am very busy now. Indirect, Rama said that he was very busy then. It will be noticed that in direct speech, we use inverted commas to mark off the exact words of the speaker. In indirect speech, we do not. It will be further noticed that in changing the above direct speech into indirect, certain changes have been made thus. First one, we have used the conjunction that before the indirect statement. Second one, the pronoun I is changed to he. The pronoun is changed in person. Third one, the verb I am is changed to was. Present tense is changed to past. Fourth one, the adverb now is changed to then. Rules for changing direct speech into indirect. When the reporting or principal verb is in the past tense, all present tenses of the direct are changed into the corresponding past tenses. Thus, a simple present becomes a simple past. Direct, he said, I am unwell. Indirect, he said, he was unwell. B, a present continuous become a past continuous. Direct, he said, my master is writing letters. Indirect, he said, his master was writing letters. C, a present perfect becomes a past perfect. Direct, he said, I have passed the examination. Indirect, he said, he had passed the examination. Note: the shall of the future tense is changed into should. The will of the future tense is changed into would or should. As a rule, the simple past in the direct becomes the past perfect in the indirect. Direct: he said, the horse died in the night. Indirect: he said that the horse had died in the night. The tenses may not change if the statement is still relevant or if it is a universal truth. We can often choose whether to keep the original tenses or change them. Direct: I know her address, said Gopi. Indirect: Gopi said he knows knew her address. Direct: the teacher said the earth goes round the sun. Indirect: the teacher said the earth goes went round the sun. Direct: German is easy to learn, she said. Indirect: she said German is was easy to learn. The past tense is often used when it is uncertain if the statement is true or when we are reporting objectively. If the reporting verb is in the present tense, the tenses of the word direct speech do not change. For example, we may rewrite the above examples putting the reporting verb in the present tense. Thus, he says he will unless. He has just said his master is writing letters. He says he has passed the examination. He says the horse died in the night. The pronouns of the direct speech are changed where necessary so that their relations with the reporter and his hearers rather than with the original speaker are indicated. Observe the following examples. Direct: he said to me, I don't believe you. Indirect: he said he didn't believe me. Direct: she said to me, I don't believe you. Indirect: she said didn't believe me. Direct: I said to him, I don't believe you. Indirect: I said I didn't believe him. Direct: I said to you, I don't believe you. Indirect: I said I didn't believe you. Words expressing nearness in time or place are generally changed into words expressing distance. Thus, now becomes then, today becomes that day, here, there, tomorrow, next day, ago, before, yesterday, the day before, thus, so, last night, the night before. Direct: he said, I am glad to be here this evening. Indirect: he said that he was glad to be there this evening. The changes do not occur if the speech is reporting during the same period or at the same place. Example: direct: he says, I am glad to be here this evening. Indirect: he says he is glad to be here that evening. Similarly, this and these are changed to that and those unless the thing pointed out is near at hand at the time of reporting the speech. Questions. In reporting questions, the indirect speech is introduced by some such verbs as asked, inquired, etc. When the question is not introduced by an interrogative word, the reporting verb is followed by whether or if. Direct: he said to me, what you are doing. Indirect: he asked me what I was doing. Direct: where are you? Do live? Asked the stranger. Indirect: the stranger inquired where I lived. Direct: the policeman said to us, where are you going? Indirect: the policeman inquired where we were going. Indirect: he said, will you listen to such a man? Indirect: he asked them whether they would listen to such a man? Or would they, he asked, listen to such a man? Direct. Do you suppose you know better than your own father? Jeered his angry mother. Indirect. His angry mother jeered and asked whether he supposed that he knew better than his own father. Commands and requests. In reporting commands and requests, the indirect speech is introduced by some verb expressing command or request, and imperative mood is changed into the infinitive. Direct. Rama said to Arjuna, "Go away." Indirect. Rama ordered Arjuna to go away. Direct. He said to him, "Please wait here till I return." Indirect. He requested him to wait there till he returned. Indirect. Direct. "Call the first witness," said the judge. Indirect. The judge commanded them to call the first witness. Direct. He shouted, "Let me go." Indirect. He shouted to them to let him go. Direct. He said, "Be quiet and listen to my words." Indirect. He urged them to be quiet and listen to his words. Exclamation and wishes. In reporting exclamation and wishes, the indirect speech is introduced by some verb expressing exclamation or wish. Direct. He said, "Alas, I am undone." Indirect. He exclaimed sadly that he was undone. Direct. Alice said, "How clever I am." Indirect. Alice exclaimed that she was very clever. Direct. He said, "Bravo, you have done well." Indirect. He applauded him, saying that he had done well. Direct. "So help me, heaven," he cried, "I will never steal again." Indirect. He called upon heaven to witness his resolve never to steal again. Conversion of indirect to direct. The conversion of indirect into direct generally presents no special difficulties, as the following examples will show. Indirect. He inquired whether his name was not Ahmed. Direct. He said to him, "Is your name not Ahmed?" Indirect. As the stranger entered the town, he was met by a policeman who asked him if he was a traveler. He replies carelessly that it would appear so. Direct. As the stranger entered the town, he was met by a policeman who asked, "Are you a traveler?" "So it would appear," he answered carelessly. Indirect. She asked how she, a girl who could not ride or use sword or lance, could be of any help. Rather would she stay at home and spin beside her dear mother. Direct. She said, "How can I girl who cannot ride or use sword or lance, be of any help? Rather would I stay at home and spin beside my dear mother." Study the following examples and each case carefully note the change made while turning from direct into indirect speech. Direct. The prince said, "It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening." Indirect. The prince said that it gave him great pleasure to be there that evening. Direct. He said, "I shall go as soon as it is possible." Indirect. He said that he would go as soon as it was possible. Direct. He said, "I do not wish to see any of you. Go away." Indirect. He said that he did not wish to see any of them and ordered them to go away. Direct. My teacher often says to me, "If you don't know work hard, you will fail." Indirect. My teacher often says to me that if I don't work hard, I shall fail. Direct, he said, we are all sinners. Indirect, he said that we are all sinners. Direct, the lecturer said, Akbar won the respect of all races and classes by his justice. Indirect, the lecturer said that Akbar won the respect of all the races and classes by his justice. Direct, he said, let us wait for the award. Indirect, he proposed that they should wait for the award. Direct, St. George, strike for us, exclaimed the knight. Do the false human give away? Indirect, the knight prayed that St. George might strike for them and asked whether the false human gave way. Direct, curse it, exclaimed the driver, who could have foreseen such ill luck. But for accident, we should have caught the train easily. Indirect, the driver exclaimed with an oath that nobody could have foreseen such ill luck. But for the accident, they would have caught the train easily. Direct, the general, addressing his mutinous troops, said, you have brought disgrace upon a famous regiment. If you had grievances, why did you not lay them before your own officers? Now, you must first suffer punishment for your offense before your complaints can be heard. Indirect, the general told his mutinous troops that they had brought disgrace upon a famous regiment. If they had grievances, why had they not laid them before their own officers? Now they must suffer punishment for their offense before their complaints could be heard. Direct, the travelers, can you tell me the way to nearest inn? Yes, said the peasant. Do you want to one in which you can spend the night? No, replied the traveler. I only want a meal. Indirect, the traveler asked the peasant if he could tell him the way to the nearest inn. The peasant replied that he could, and asked whether the traveler wanted one in which they could spend the night. The traveler answered that he did not wish to stay there, but only wanted a meal the night. The traveler answered that he did not wish to stay there, but only wanted a meal. Remark, it will be noticed that we have avoided the ugly phrases, replied in the affirmative and replied in the negative. Chapter 17. Agreement of the verb with the subject. A verb must agree with its subject in number and person, often by what is called the error of proximity. The verb is made to agree in number with a noun near it instead of with its proper subject. This should be avoided as shown in the following examples. First one, the quality of the mangoes was not good. The introduction of tea and coffee and such other beverages has not been without some effect. His knowledge of Indian vernaculars is far beyond the common. The state of his affairs was such as to cause anxiety to his creditors. If it were possible to get near when one of the volcanic eruptions take place, we should see a grand sight. The results of the recognition of this fact are seen in the gradual improvement of the diet of the poor. Two or more singular nouns are pronouns joined by and requires a plural verb, as gold and silver are precious metals. Fire and water do not agree. Knowledge and wisdom have of times no connection. Are your father and mother at home? In him were centered their love and their ambition. He and I were playing. But if the nouns suggest one idea to the mind or refer to the same person or thing, the verb is singular, as Time and tide waits for no man. The horse and carriage is at the door. Bread and butter is his only food. Honor and glory is his reward. The rise and fall of the tide is due to lunar influence. My friend and benefactor has come. The novelist and poet is dead. Words joined to a singular subject by with as well as etc. are parenthetical. The verb should therefore be put in their singular as the house with its content was insured. The mayor's with his councillors is to be present. The ship with its crew was lost. Silver as well as cotton has fallen in price. Sanskrit as well as Arabic was taught there. Justice as well as mercy allows it. The guidance as well as the love of a mother was wanting. Two or more singular subject connected by or nor requires a singular verb, as no nook or corner was left unexplored. Our happiness or our sorrow is largely due to our own actions. Either the cat or the dog has been here. Neither food nor water was to be found there. Neither praise nor blame seems to affect him. But when one of the subject joined by or nor is plural, the verb must be plural, and the plural subject should be placed nearest verb, as neither the chairman nor the directors are present. When the subject joined by or nor are of different persons, the verb agrees with the nearers, as either he or I am mistaken, either you or he is mistaken, neither you nor he is to be blamed, neither my friend nor I am to blame. But it is better to avoid these constructions and to write he is mistaken or else I am, you are mistaken or else he is not to blame, nor are you, my friend is to blame, nor I am. Either, neither, each, everyone, many, a must be followed by singular verb, as he asked me whether either of applicants was suitable. Neither of the two men was very strong. Each of these substances is found in India. Every one of the prisons is full. Every one of the boys loves to ride. Many a man has done so. Many a man does not know his own good deeds. Many a man has succumbed to his temptation. Two nouns qualified by each or every, even though connected by and, requires a singular verb, as every boy and every girl was given a packet of sweets. Some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb, as the news is true. The politics was with him the business of his life. The wages of sin is death. Mathematics is a branch of study in every school. Pains and means take either the singular or the plural verb, but the construction must be consistent, as great pains have been taken, much pains has been taken, all possible means have been tried. The means employed by you is sufficient. In the sense of income,